How we doing, guys? And it's finished. Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. So, of course, it's finished. Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0, and we are out of the FA Cup. Now, I hate losing. I honestly hate losing. We could play in the Emirates Cup, and I hate losing. But I'm going to put a bit of context to this, all right? Because I look at this result and I've seen enough. I honestly have seen enough to say right here, right now, Arsenal can win the Premier League. It's as simple as that. Before the game, I looked at the team lineup. 6 changes. A lot of changes defensively. And I thought, that's a gamble. Big gamble against Manchester City, who went full strength, apart from Ederson in goal. And then I was watching the game unfold in the first half, and we were the better side. We had the better chances. Trossard, for me, looked really good. Really impressed with him. The Man City goalkeeper made some really good saves. One from Tomiyasu, one from Trossard. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, this is all right. There was a couple of, scary moments with Haaland and Rob Holding. And the moment that Rob Holding got a yellow card just before halftime, I was like, needs to come off at halftime. And Mikel Arteta did exactly that. Put William Saliba on and took Rob Holding off. But he also took Thomas Partey off. Now, I've seen the interview after the game with Mikel Arteta, and it's really frustrating when commentators don't ask questions. I don't know why he's been taken off. I don't know whether this was something that was pre-planned and Mikel said, you play 45, you're coming off despite what the score is, what the situation is, etc., etc. Or there's a slight little problem, a niggle, an injury, whatever it might be, and Arsenal said, not taking a risk, off you come. And then we brought on Lokonga. And if you ever wanted to see why we are in for a centre midfielder right now, then this is the exact reason why. He's simply not good enough. Nice lad and everything else, but I'm sorry, no. And I'll tell you how far Arsenal have come now. A few years ago, Lokonga probably wouldn't have looked out of place at Arsenal. He would have probably just fitted in with what was around him because it wasn't that great. But now we've taken our level higher and we've got bigger players and bigger game players and everything else. He stands out a mile. Nowhere near ready to be playing at this football club. There was a moment in the second half where Martin Odegaard was going mad at him because of his positional play. And he was just drifting, ball watching, following players. Odegaard was fuming. He doesn't even have to think twice when Thomas Partey's there. He doesn't even need to think, do I need to check my shoulder? What's going on behind me? He's already like, yeah, Thomas is dealing with that. That's fine. Doesn't need to look. And, and that's the harsh reality at the end of the day. He's simply not good enough. I thought overall we played really well. There was that moment in the second half. We fell asleep, lapse of concentration. And then we let Ake score such a poor goal to give away. And then we came alive and we looked better again. And we become really threatening. And I just look at the game overall. And I think, yeah, you know what? I've seen enough there to know that we can go toe-to-toe with Manchester City. I thought tactically we were superb. Haaland didn't do anything. Saliba come on at half-time and Saliba dealt with him. Absolutely no problems at all. Haaland was so ineffective in the second half. De Bruyne, quiet. Riyad Mahrez, quiet. That's because tactically we nullified Man City. We were able to, stop their way of playing. And if we were just a little bit more clinical and had a little bit more cutting edge, And I believe if Thomas Partey hadn't have gone off at half-time, we'd have won that game. But I've seen enough. In 2 weeks' time, when we play Man City in the league at the Emirates, I think you will see a completely different Arsenal. Not just in terms of the personnel, but in terms of the way that we play. I think that you will see a difference in our intensity. I think you'll see a difference in the way that we execute the game plan. I just think it will be a completely and utterly different game. And I saw enough there. Like I said, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I saw enough to say, you know what, we can compete with Man City. We've got nothing to be fearful of. They're a good side, don't get me wrong. But they're not the Man City from 2-3 years ago. I've seen plenty there to say we can go toe-to-toe with Man City. Sorry, it's as simple as that. You know, overall tonight, I look at the performances. I thought tomiyasu had a decent game. I thought Turner in goal had a decent game. Saliba and Gabriel were comfortable. Tierney, I love the guy, but he's not Zinchenko. And it's so noticeable when Zinchenko is not playing. Partey and xhaka bossed it in the first half. Bukayo Saka had probably his worst game of the season for us. So ineffective, so quiet. Vieira needs to do a lot more. Not impressed in any way, shape or form by his performance tonight. Trossard, I thought, played really well. Very good to get, 60 odd minutes in his legs, and really impressed. Martinelli, when he came on, that was the Martinelli pre-World Cup. I don't know whether Trossard being there has all of a sudden made him go, oh, hey, hold on, my place ain't safe. Because he looked a completely different player when he came on. Last 20 minutes, he looked like the Martinelli we know. Eddie works hard, but just lacks that little clinicalness. It's just, I see a lot of comparisons this week saying, when Jesus is back. And listen, Eddie's done fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But when Jesus is fit and firing, he plays. It's as simple as that, in my opinion. But listen, it is what it is. We're out of the cup. I'm not too downbeat about it, because when you look at the changes going against Man City at the Etihad and everything else, I think we can hold our head up high, to be honest with you. I really do. So one little note on that as well was at the end of the game, I noticed it, and I'm seeing some reports on socials about Sambi Lokonga and how he walked straight off the pitch, went down the tunnel and everything else, while the other players were acknowledging the 8,500 odd Arsenal fans that had travelled to Manchester on a Friday when there's no trains back. Disgraceful. I don't care how disappointed you are. I don't care what you think about your performance, what's going on, anything. You go over and you pay your respects to the fans. Disgusting. Not good in any way, shape or form. So, and also at the time of doing this is that Moises Caicedo has released a statement as well on his Instagram, basically saying that he's given his all to Brighton, and that he's happy that he can get the club a record transfer fee, and they need to let him move and fulfill his dreams. And then he's pinned a image of him when he was playing at the Emirates as his main photo. So I think this one's going to develop quite quickly now. It's very rare that you see a player come out and openly, say like this. So fingers crossed that he's going to be an Arsenal player soon, that's for sure. But listen, let me know in the comment section what you think of the game. Do you agree with my assessment or not? Listen, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.